The bustling atmosphere of the central galactic marketplace was intoxicating. Neon signs flashed above stalls brimming with vibrant wares from every corner of the universe. The air buzzed with excited chatter, punctuated by the zippy sounds of hover carts skimming by. Among the chaos was a small but charming flower shop, Anna's Blossoms, where Anna Volkov worked tirelessly to create the perfect bouquets. She had a knack for arranging flowers that spoke of beauty and emotion, even if she sometimes struggled to understand the nuances of the clientele that frequented the intergalactic bazaar. That day, the shop smelled like a delightful mix of fresh blooms and warm earth, mingled with the exotic scents wafting in from the food stalls nearby. Anna adjusted her apron, the fabric stained with the remnants of her work, and glanced at the task list pinned to the wall. She had a busy day ahead, yet her spirit was high, fueled by the thrill of creating beauty for her diverse customers. "Hey, Anna," called out Drax, a squat alien with wide, luminous eyes and skin that shimmered like the surface of a distant star. "Got any flowers for my sister's Omagath year celebration? You know how fussy they are with colors." "Absolutely, Drax. I have just the thing," she replied, her face illuminated with a smile. She turned to the array of blooms carefully arranged on the shelves, picking out hydrangeas, cosmos, and the soft, fluffy puffs of cloud daisies that were always a hit. As she composed the bouquet with practiced hands, she remembered the supplier's catalog she'd glanced at earlier. That day, she had made an order for something she thought would be different: elegant star lilies, their delicate petals glowing softly under the shop's ambient lights. Each bloom was reportedly cherished across various cultures for its unique beauty. She hadn't read the fine print, though; it was easy to overlook, especially when overwhelmed by the multitude of choices. "Wait," Drax exclaimed, leaning in closer to examine the flowers she'd chosen. "You didn't order the star lilies, did you?" "Of course, I did. They're beautiful," she declared, twirling a yellow ribbon to accentuate the bouquet. Drax's expression shifted to one of concern. "You know they're toxic to most of us, right? You really should research a bit more about the flowers you're ordering. Aliens appreciate safe blooms." The words hit her like a hard slap. A wave of embarrassment washed over her as she realized her mistake. "Oh no, I just thought," her voice trailed off, the weight of her naivety pressing heavily on her shoulders. She'd worked so hard to please her customers, and this little oversight could cascade into much larger problems. As Drax hurried out, shaking his head, Anna felt the sting of reality. She could no longer afford to think of her customers as merely creatures with strange appearances and customs. They were individuals with diverse backgrounds and needs she needed to respect. Over the months, Anna had grown fond of the different species that frequented her shop, but her understanding had remained superficial. This moment revealed the cracks in her worldview, and she could feel her human-centered perspective start to falter. The marketplace, with its vibrant culture and myriad species, suddenly felt daunting and overwhelming. She took a deep breath, inhaling the mingled scents of her shop, earthiness from the potting soil, the sweetness of blooming flowers, and the faint overtone of the exotic spices from the food stalls. Bolstered by determination, she grabbed her tablet and began researching the effects of the star lilies on the various alien species that visited her shop regularly. Each swipe opened her eyes wider to the vastness of knowledge she had ignored. There were details about the fernax, who suffered severe allergic reactions to the lilies, the zivans, who could only tolerate specific hues, and the gorons, whose culture placed extreme value in floral selections. Each entry painted a picture of vibrant, diverse life that swirled around her, and with each revelation came the uneasiness of how much she had yet to learn. Hours passed as she dug deeper into the vast databases available. The marketplace began to slow down, and the bright fluorescent lights flickered above her, casting a warm glow in the twilight surrounding the shop. Just as she closed her tablet, she heard the shop door chime, signaling a newcomer. "Greetings, Earthling Florist," a smooth, melodious voice filled the space, cutting through her earlier thoughts. Anna looked up to find a tall, striking figure leaning gracefully against the doorframe. Their skin shimmered in iridescent shades of blue and silver, capturing every glimmer of light. It was an Elysian, a species known for their ethereal beauty and delicate etiquette. "Welcome, how may I assist you today?" Anna said, her heart fluttering. The Elysians were renowned for their understanding of floral artistry, and she could feel her nerves tickle her stomach. "I am Lyran," the alien said, their voice flowing like a soothing melody. "I came to inquire about flowers for a cultural gathering. I would prefer something unique, perhaps a symbol of friendship and union." Anna's nerves tingled at the thought of this encounter. This was her chance to prove herself, to connect on a deeper level and shed her earlier misstep. As she began discussing the various blooms, her mind raced with ideas. "Here, let me show you the cloud daisies I have. They symbolize peace among our peoples, and I believe they could convey your intentions beautifully," she offered with renewed enthusiasm. "Cloud daisies? Fascinating. It is vital that our cultures intertwine in this way," Lyran said, observing her enthusiasm. But tell me, do you also have the Elorian blossoms? They hold deep meaning for the Elysians. Anna hesitated. The name felt familiar, but the flower had been absent from her recent research. In that moment, the pieces began to fit together. The toxic star lilies had created a ripple effect. The error of her order now connected in her mind to Lyran's inquiry, bringing the importance of understanding alien customs into sharp focus. I am sorry, I do not have them at the moment, she said, her confidence wavering. But I can surely find them for you. Would you allow me the opportunity to learn more about what the Elorian blossoms mean? Lyran regarded her for a moment, their expression contemplative. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. Should you desire, I can also offer assistance in selecting a suitable arrangement for others of my kind. Our cultures have much to share. As they began talking, Anna felt a connection blossom, a sign that perhaps the misstep could lead her to grow not only as a florist but also as a person willing to embrace new perspectives. The mistake with the star lilies was more than just a blunder, it was a chance to engage in a relationship that transcended her previous understanding. And as the night sky enveloped the marketplace in twilight, Anna knew her world was about to change in ways she had yet to comprehend. The misfortune of the wrong flowers was merely the beginning, setting in motion a chain of events that would forever alter her path in this vast galaxy. The bell over the door jingled as Anna focused intently on the tablet in front of her. She was still grappling with the realization of her earlier mistake when the door swung open again, revealing a frazzled Zektar. His vibrant green skin shimmered in the overhead lights, twitching with anxiety as he stepped into Anna's blossoms. The shop's comforting fragrance momentarily calmed him, but the urgency in his eyes told Anna that he was far from settled. Anna, please, I need your help, Zektar pleaded, his voice a mix of desperation and hope. Anna looked up, startled but quickly shifting her focus to the alien before her. He was a single father, responsible for raising his son, Thyn, who was turning 5 the following day, a milestone in Zektar's culture. What's wrong? She asked, quickly putting down her tablet. Is everything okay with Thyn? Zektar ran a hand through his frond-like hair, the tips quivering slightly. No, not okay. I've been so busy with work in my garden that I completely forgot to arrange the flowers for his birthday party. It's a tradition in our culture to have specific flowers. They symbolize growth and joy. They're everything to us. His voice trembled as emotions swirled just beneath the surface. Oh no, I can help with that, Anna replied, trying to mask her own anxiety bubbling beneath her skin. She forced a smile, desperate to be the hero here. What kind of flowers are you looking for? Zektar swallowed hard, his wide eyes glistening with the weight of his responsibility. We need the tari blossoms. They're bright blue and have a sweet aroma that brings joy to the heart. It's believed that if the child receives them on their birthday, they will grow strong and full of life. But, he hesitated, his voice dropping to a whisper. They are rare, especially here. Anna's heart sank as she remembered her earlier conversation with Drax. How could she have been so short-sighted? She could have asked her supplier about the availability of tari blossoms, but now it was too late. The truth washed over her like cold water. Her ignorance could potentially ruin Thyn's special day. Let me check in the back, she said, forcing herself to remain upbeat. I might have some, or I can see if I can get them by tomorrow. She broke into a jog towards the back room, her pulse racing as she rifled through the cooler. The tari blossoms were nowhere to be found. A sense of panic crept in as she turned back towards the front, where Zektar was waiting. I'm sorry, Zektar. I don't have the tari blossoms, she admitted, her voice heavy with disappointment. But I can call my supplier and see if they can deliver some by tomorrow morning. Zektar's expression fell, his hope visibly dimming. You don't understand. Without those flowers, the party is meaningless. It's tradition, and traditions are everything to us. He clenched his hands into fists, his vulnerability laid bare. I've let my son down, and I can't face him without the tari. Anna's heart ached for the grieving father. She could see the weight of cultural expectations pressing down on him, the fear of disappointing a child who looked up to him. It resonated with her own recent failure to understand the significance of her craft. She realized that she needed to dig deeper rather than simply offer to help. Zektar, I know how important this is, she said, her voice firm yet gentle. Tell me more about the tari flowers. Maybe there's a way we can work together to make this special for Thyn without them. Zektar's gaze softened, and he began to explain the cultural significance behind the tari blossoms. They are not just flowers, they represent the bond between father and son. They symbolize joy, growth, and the blessings of the cosmos. Our children are our future, and these flowers remind them that they are cherished. As he spoke, Anna felt a surge of empathy. She realized she had been living in a bubble, only considering her own experiences and knowledge. She needed to learn more about the diverse cultures around her and how they intertwined with her work. I've got an idea, Anna said, excitement surging through her. What if we create a bouquet inspired by the tari blossoms? I can mix some blue flowers, and we could incorporate elements that represent growth and joy in other ways. Maybe we can even include some flowers that are meaningful to your culture. Zektar's eyes widened with interest, a flicker of hope sparking within them. You would do that? You would help me create something meaningful? Absolutely, Anna replied with a determined nod. Let's make THYN's birthday unforgettable. You know your culture better than I do, help me understand what else we can include. Together, they combed through the flowers, Anna listening intently as Zektar described various blooms and their significance. They selected vibrant blue iris flowers, which symbolized hope, and soft white daisies, representing innocence and joy. With each flower they chose, Zektar's face brightened, and Anna felt a warmth spreading in her chest. As they worked side by side, Anna's fingers deftly arranged the flowers while Zektar recounted stories of his son's growth. She watched as his face transformed from worry to excitement, and she marveled at how a simple act of collaboration could bridge their two worlds. With the bouquet finally completed, Anna placed it in a beautiful, shimmering vase. The colors were striking, a blend of blue and white that danced together in harmony. This is perfect, Zektar said, his voice thick with emotion. THYN will love it. Thank you. Anna felt a wave of satisfaction wash over her. Not only had she salvaged the situation, but she had also gained insight into the rich tapestry of cultures surrounding her. This moment was a turning point. She understood now that being a florist wasn't just about arranging flowers, it was about connecting with people and their stories. Now, let's make sure tomorrow is a day to remember for both you and THYN, Anna said, grinning. The energy between them had shifted, and she felt a newfound determination to learn more about the diverse clientele that frequented her shop. As Zektar prepared to leave with the bouquet, Anna caught his eye. I'll be here early tomorrow, and I'll check in with my supplier. If any luck, we might just get those tari blossoms after all. Thank you, Anna. You've shown me that even traditions can evolve, Zektar replied, his voice filled with gratitude. As he stepped out into the bustling marketplace, Anna felt a sense of fulfillment blooming within her. With each passing moment, her perspective shifted, and the realization struck her. She was not just a florist in a galaxy of differences, she was a bridge between cultures, a creator of connections that could blossom in unexpected ways. With that understanding, she dedicated herself to crafting a world where every flower told a story, transforming her little shop into a sanctuary of cultural appreciation and love. Anna felt a knot tightening in her stomach as Zektar's words echoed in her mind. She had never considered the depth of meaning behind the flowers she arranged daily. To her, they were merely pretty accents to lighten someone's day. But now, standing in her shop, the weight of cultural significance pressed heavily on her shoulders. I need to know more about the tari flowers, she urged, her voice steadying as she sought to redirect the conversation. You said they symbolize growth, how do they do that? Zektar's demeanor shifted slightly, he straightened as he spoke, his voice taking on a more authoritative tone. In our culture, the tari embodies the essence of life and vitality. Each blossom is said to connect the child with their ancestors, infusing them with blessings of health and strength. When THYN receives them on his birthday, it's not just a gift, it's a rite of passage. He paused, allowing the gravity of his words to sink in. But there's something more. Anna leaned in, eager to hear the rest. What else? Zektar hesitated, searching for the right words. THYN. He was born with a rare condition. He is allergic to many flowers, including the tari. Receiving them would be dangerous. If I don't provide him a safe alternative, I will fail him as a father. A cold wave of realization washed over Anna. She had unknowingly put Zektar and his son at risk by ordering the very flowers that could harm THYN. Oh no, Zektar. I didn't know, she said softly, her heart racing as the implications of her mistake hit her hard. I'm so sorry. I thought I was helping. His expression softened, and he placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. I know you didn't mean to, but now we must find a way to make this right. What can we do? The party is tomorrow. Anna felt a surge of determination. She couldn't let Zektar down, not after hearing the love and hope in his voice when he spoke of THYN. Okay, let's think outside the box. We could create an arrangement using other flowers, ones that are safe for THYN and still maintain the spirit of the tari. Maybe we can even incorporate some of their colors to honor the tradition. Zektar's eyes brightened slightly, the tension in his shoulders easing just a bit. That could work, but we must choose wisely. The flowers need to evoke the same feelings of joy and connection. They must still carry the essence of the tari. Okay, let's see what we have, Anna replied, her mind racing as she turned towards her stock. She quickly moved through the aisles of her shop, her fingers brushing against the petals of various blooms, searching for inspiration. What about these? She picked up a set of vibrant yellow daisies, their cheerful faces looking up at her. They're bright and full of life. Zektar considered the daisies thoughtfully. They are beautiful, but they lack the depth of the tari. We need something more profound. Anna felt a hint of frustration bubble inside her, but she kept her voice steady. What if we mixed them with these lavender blossoms? They have a calming scent and are safe for children. Plus, the colors together might evoke a sense of joy while symbolizing growth. Zektar nodded, his brow furrowing in concentration. That could work. The lavender evokes calmness, which is essential for THYN. We could also add the white star flowers. They represent purity and a fresh start, symbolizing his growth into another year. Anna smiled, feeling a spark of hope ignite within her. Yes, let's go with that. She hurried to gather the materials, feeling a mix of urgency and excitement. As she began pulling the flowers from their shelves, she could feel Zektar's eyes on her, assessing her every move. Do you have experience creating arrangements like this? He asked, a hint of concern in his voice. Not exactly like this, but I promise to do my best, she replied, not wanting to show her nervousness. I've arranged bouquets for many different occasions, and I believe that putting our hearts into this will make it special. Zektar stepped closer, his eyes narrowing in curiosity. You really care, don't you? Of course, Anna said, turning to look him in the eye. It's important to me that THYN feels loved and celebrated. I understand now how vital this is to you both. Good, he said, a note of determination returning to his voice. Then let's work together. I want THYN to see how we can create beauty from our traditions. As they began arranging the flowers, Anna felt a strange kinship forming between them. Each flower they selected seemed to bloom with newfound meaning, representing not just a celebration of THYN's birthday but a bridge between their cultures. Zektar, do you think you could teach me more about your customs while we work? Anna asked, her voice filled with curiosity. I want to understand more about what these flowers mean to you. Absolutely, he replied, his enthusiasm growing as he started to share stories about tari blossoms and their significance. Each petal holds a memory, a connection to our past. It is our duty to pass down these traditions. As they chatted and laughed, Anna couldn't help but feel inspired by Zektar's passion. Her initial mistake now felt like a stepping stone towards something greater. They were not just creating a bouquet, they were weaving together lives, cultures, and hopes. I think we're almost done, Anna said with a satisfied sigh as she stepped back to admire their creation. The vibrant yellows and purples intertwined beautifully, with the white flowers adding a touch of elegance. This is going to be perfect for THYN. Zektar's eyes shone with gratitude. Thank you, Anna. You've given me a chance to show my son how much I care. I won't forget this. Anna smiled, her heart swelling with pride. Neither will I. Let's make sure his birthday is one he'll remember. As they prepared to close the shop for the day, Anna felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that her role as a florist was not just about arranging flowers, it was about connecting with people, understanding their stories, and bringing joy into their lives. This newfound understanding of cultural sensitivity would shape her work moving forward, and she was determined to honor the significance of every bloom she handled. Ready? Zektar asked, holding the bouquet carefully. Ready, Anna replied. Let's go give THYN a birthday he won't forget. As they stepped out into the bustling market, the vibrant world around them was filled with the promise of new beginnings, and Anna knew this was just the start of a beautiful friendship. Anna felt the rush of urgency as she gathered the flowers, an electric mix of anxiety and exhilaration coursing through her. The stakes were higher than ever, and she was determined to make it work. She had always seen her floral arrangements as merely aesthetic, now, they were a lifeline. As she carefully selected the lavender and white star flowers, Zektar stood by, his keen eyes analyzing each choice. Do you often mix flowers like this for special occasions? Zektar asked, his voice laced with curiosity. Only during holidays or weddings, Anna replied, her hands moving deftly. It's usually about color coordination and scent. I never thought about the meaning behind each flower, especially how it could connect different cultures. Zektar nodded, his expression thoughtful. Many beings underestimate the significance of blooms. They carry stories and emotions. The tari, for instance, is not just a flower. It is a vessel of heritage and spirit. Anna paused, her fingers brushing over the delicate petals of a white star flower. What if we added a personal touch to this arrangement? Something that speaks to both our cultures? Zektar's eyes brightened. Yes, that could deepen the connection and express unity. In my culture, we have a rare flower called the varlin. It blooms only once every 5 years, symbolizing a deep bond of friendship. It could be the heart of our arrangement. Varlin? Anna echoed, intrigued. What does it look like? It has large, intricate petals that shimmer with hues of blue and purple, resembling the night sky. It's often given during moments of great importance or to celebrate new beginnings, he explained, a hint of pride evident in his voice. Sounds beautiful, Anna said, her heart racing. Do you have any here? Zektar's face darkened slightly. Unfortunately, the last varlin in my possession wilted. I had planned to use it for THYN's birthday, but I was too late to save it. However, we can create our own symbol of friendship with the flowers we have. Anna's heart ached at the thought of Zektar's loss but felt a surge of determination. Then let's make this the most meaningful arrangement possible. We can use the lavender for calm and the white starflowers for purity, and we'll add a few more bright blooms to represent joy and hope. They began to work side by side, their movements becoming more synchronized as time passed. Zektar taught Anna how to layer the flowers, each step revealing a new technique that she had yet to master. You see, it's not just about the arrangement but also the balance of energy each flower brings, he instructed, holding a lavender blossom delicately between his fingers. Anna listened intently, absorbing his knowledge. And how do you know when it's balanced? When you can feel the energy emanating from the arrangement, as if it speaks to your soul, he replied, his voice softer now, almost reflective. It's a bit like parenting, really. You have to nurture and guide, knowing when to step in and when to let go. That's so true, Anna said, a smile creeping onto her face. I often struggle with that balance myself. I want to give my son the best, but I also need to let him grow independently. Zektar looked at her seriously, the weight of his own struggles evident in his gaze. It is not easy. We want our children to thrive, yet we often fear what could happen if we let them take risks. They shared a moment of silence, the air thick with understanding. Anna could feel the bond between them strengthening, an unspoken appreciation for their shared experiences as parents from different worlds. As they continued to work, Anna felt a newfound confidence surge within her. She was adapting, learning not just about flowers but about embracing the unfamiliar. This wasn't just a task, it was a collaboration of cultures and histories, woven together through the delicate threads of floral artistry. Zektar glanced at her, a hint of admiration in his eyes. You have a natural gift for this, Anna. Your creativity brings the flowers to life. Thanks, Zektar. That means a lot, especially coming from you, she replied, her heart swelling with pride. As she arranged the flowers, she found herself wishing she could surprise Zektar with something special, a gesture to show her gratitude for his guidance and the trust he had placed in her. What if we added a little sparkle? Anna suggested, her mind racing with ideas. I have some shimmering dust we could sprinkle on the petals. It could represent the light of friendship shining through adversity. Zektar laughed softly, his eyes sparkling with amusement. You humans have such an interesting approach. I love it. Let us make this arrangement not just a gift for Thyn, but a testament to our friendship and the power of unity. As they completed the arrangement, Anna felt a wave of satisfaction wash over her. The bouquet was a stunning array of colors and textures, radiating warmth and compassion. Zektar stood back, admiring their work, and she could sense the pride emanating from him. This is more than I could have hoped for, he said, his voice thick with emotion. Thyn will feel the love and effort behind this. Thank you for believing in this collaboration. Thank you for teaching me, Anna replied, her voice earnest. I didn't realize how much I could learn from someone like you, and how much I could grow in the process. As they exchanged smiles, Anna felt the weight of their shared experiences settle into a comfortable bond. They were two parents, two creators, finding common ground in the most unexpected of places. Little did they know that this arrangement would not only change Thyn's birthday but also forge a friendship that would blossom long beyond the confines of their cultures. The clock ticked steadily in the background, reminding them that time was slipping away, but Anna couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. Together, they had transformed a moment of potential disaster into a celebration of life, connection, and the beauty of learning from one another. Anna and Zektar stood surrounded by the vibrant colors of their floral arrangement, the air thick with the mingled fragrances of lavender and blossoms. But just as they began to find their rhythm, the tranquility shattered. The storefront bell jingled violently as a frantic delivery driver rushed in, his expression a mix of panic and urgency. Anna, I'm sorry, but there's a problem with the delivery, he exclaimed, breathless. What do you mean? The flowers were scheduled to arrive this morning, Anna replied, her heart sinking. She had relied on that shipment to complete the arrangement for Thyn's upcoming birthday celebration. There's been a supply issue at the Galactic Import Hub. They're backed up with requests. Your order is delayed, indefinitely, the driver explained, his eyes darting nervously from Anna to Zektar. Anna felt a surge of despair. Indefinitely? She turned to Zektar, who remained stoic, but she could see the flicker of concern in his eyes. Zektar stepped forward, his voice steady. What can we do to resolve this? Are there alternative suppliers? The driver shook his head. The entire sector is out. You could try improvising, but without the varlin and the other blooms you need, I don't know how you could salvage it. Anna's mind raced. The stakes of this arrangement had grown immensely. It was not just about the flowers but about the bond she was forging with Zektar. We need to think creatively, she urged, her determination hardening. Zektar watched her, a newfound respect in his gaze. What do you suggest, Anna? She took a breath, scanning the remaining flowers around her. We can still use what we have. What if we focus on the story we want to convey? The friendship? We can use the remaining lavender for calm, some daisies for innocence, and maybe even a touch of wildflowers to add vibrancy and unpredictability. Zektar nodded slowly, considering her words. And we can create our own symbol of friendship using the flowers here, even without the varlin. Anna picked up a handful of daisies, their white petals contrasting sharply against the lavender. Yes, let's arrange these in a way that highlights their individual beauty while still representing unity. They began to work, but the tension didn't dissipate. The clock was ticking, and each passing moment felt heavier. As they layered the flowers together, Anna felt the weight of the situation pressing down on her. Tell me more about how your people convey their feelings through flowers, she prompted, trying to ease the rising stress. Zektar focused on the arrangement. In Tari culture, flowers are not just gifts, they are messengers. The varlin, for instance, is given during significant moments to symbolize trust and deep connection. But even common flowers can convey emotions when arranged thoughtfully. Anna carefully placed the daisies in the center, their cheerful faces lifting her spirits. I love that. I think the way we use flowers to express ourselves is deeply human too. Each variety speaks differently, and the arrangement tells our story. Just as they began to feel the flow of creativity, another challenge arose. The shop's main lights flickered ominously, and then the power cut out entirely, plunging them into semi-darkness. Great, just what we need, Anna muttered, struggling to suppress her frustration. Zektar's eyes widened. Do not worry, I have light-emitting crystals in my bag. They are not as bright but should help. He rummaged through his bag, pulling out small, luminescent stones that cast a gentle glow over the workspace. Anna watched in awe as the crystals illuminated the flowers, creating an enchanting ambience. These are beautiful, she exclaimed. They're like a night sky over the flowers. Zektar smiled, his earlier tension easing. Yes, they represent the connection between our worlds. The Tari believe that the stars guide our paths, just as flowers guide our emotions. With the light now more manageable, they continued arranging, their collaboration becoming more harmonious. But just as Anna was placing the last flower, a loud crash echoed from outside. They both jumped, their focus shattered by the disturbance. What was that? Anna asked, her heart racing. Zektar moved towards the door, peering out through the glass. It appears there has been an accident with one of the hover carts. The street is blocked. Anna's stomach dropped. The celebration is tomorrow. How will our guests arrive if they can't get through? Zektar turned back to her, his expression serious. We will find a way. Perhaps we can create a diversion, or even help clear the road. What do you think? Anna felt invigorated by his suggestion. Yes, if we can rally some of the other vendors in the marketplace, we might be able to manage the situation. They quickly gathered a few nearby shopkeepers, explaining the situation. As they mobilized, Anna felt a surge of energy. She had always viewed her work as singular, but now, she was part of a community, united by a common goal. As they worked to clear the streets, Anna looked around at the diverse faces working alongside her. Each person, regardless of their species or background, was contributing to the effort. It was a beautiful reminder of the connection they were forging that day. Finally, as the last of the debris was cleared, Anna felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had done it. With the road now open, the delivery issues behind them, and their floral arrangement almost ready, she turned to Zektar, her heart swelling with gratitude. We really pulled together, she said, her voice filled with hope. Zektar nodded, a proud smile on his face. Together, we can overcome anything. As they returned to the shop, Anna felt a warmth radiate from their collaboration, their cultural differences fading in the face of shared determination and newfound friendship. Everything was changing, and she welcomed it with open arms. As the sun lifted over the central galactic marketplace, vibrant colors spilled through the streets, illuminating stalls brimming with intergalactic goods. Today was the day. Anna's heart raced with anticipation for Thyn's birthday celebration. She stood outside Anna's blossoms, nervously adjusting the colorful bouquet she'd created with Zektar. The scents of lavender and daisies mingled in the air around her, a reminder of the bond they had formed. However, the peaceful atmosphere quickly shifted. The chatter of delighted patrons was abruptly interrupted by a loud explosion followed by a series of panicked screams. A heavy metallic object crashed into a nearby stall, sending a cascade of fruits and goods flying through the air. The normally vibrant marketplace devolved into chaos. Anna's heart sank as she instinctively reached for Zektar. What was that? She shouted, her voice barely rising above the noise. Zektar's eyes widened, his jaw set with determination. We must find Thyn, he replied, his voice calm yet urgent, cutting through the panic. Without waiting for a response, he grabbed Anna's hand and pulled her toward the direction of the sound. They maneuvered through the throngs of frightened shoppers, the once inviting aromas now tainted with smoke and fear. Anna's mind raced, the weight of their earlier arrangements slipping away as the urgency of the situation clouded her thoughts. Thyn's happiness had become her priority more than any floral arrangement could convey. As they reached the center of the marketplace, chaos reigned. Alien merchants shouted in fear, their wares scattered across the cobbled ground. A group of Tari guards was attempting to restore order, but the situation escalated, with a few disgruntled shopkeepers yelling about the attack, not just on their stalls but on their way of life. Zektar, what's happening? Anna's voice trembled, filled with concern for Thyn's safety and the growing unrest. It appears there is a misunderstanding between our people, Zektar explained, scanning the crowd for any sign of his son. Some factions believe that our dealings with humans dilute our culture. They do not see the beauty in our exchange. Anna felt a pang of guilt twist her stomach. Had her effort to bridge their worlds inadvertently fueled this conflict? The flowers she had chosen, the symbolism they carried, now felt heavy with implications. We have to calm everyone down before this turns into something worse, she insisted, her voice resolute. What can we do? Zektar's gaze locked onto Anna's, understanding her determination. We must show them that unity can be created from diversity. We can use the flowers as a symbol. They represent hope, friendship, and the beauty in our differences. Anna nodded, inspired by his words. Yes, we can create something right here in the chaos. If we can gather a few flowers, we can weave them into a message of peace. With newfound resolve, Anna and Zektar dashed toward the remnants of her shop. They began collecting flowers that had been scattered during the chaos: lavender, daisies, and wildflowers all mixed together, their vibrant colors stark against the gray of panic that enveloped the marketplace. As they worked, Anna's mind began to race with ideas. They needed to craft a powerful arrangement that could convey their message of unity. Let's make a centerpiece that tells our story, not just ours, but the story of everyone here, Anna suggested, her voice steady as she arranged the flowers in a makeshift vase. Zektar nodded, his hands deftly weaving the blooms together. The Tari value beauty in arrangements, he said, his focus unwavering. If we can create something striking, we might just capture their attention. As they worked together, the sounds of shouting and chaos began to fade into the background. Anna felt a bond solidifying between them, a partnership forged by adversity. But then, a loud crash echoed nearby, and a shout rang out, "They're coming for us!" Fear rippled through the crowd again. Zektar turned sharply. Anna, we need to finish this quickly. With urgency, they placed the final flowers in the arrangement, a beautiful display that reflected both Tari and human culture. The moment they completed it, Anna felt a wave of hope wash over her. This will speak for us, she breathed, looking at Zektar. We need to present it to the crowd. Zektar glanced around, spotting the gathering crowd, many of whom had paused to witness the chaos. On three, we lifted high and call for calm, he instructed, squaring his shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Together, they lifted the flower arrangement high above their heads, the vibrant colors catching the attention of the frightened onlookers. Everyone, Zektar called, his voice strong and commanding. We are not enemies. This is a symbol of our unity, flowers that show our friendship and the beauty of our cultures combined. Anna's heart raced as she watched the expressions on the faces of those around them shift from fear to curiosity. She added, we can only thrive together. Look at the harmony in these flowers, they can teach us to appreciate our differences. At that moment, some of the frightened vendors began to step forward, intrigued by the beauty of the arrangement. The chaos around them began to quiet as more and more people turned their gaze to the flowers that shone like a beacon in the turmoil. But just as hope began to blossom, Anna noticed a group of Tari, visibly distressed, whispering among themselves. Tension surged again, and Anna felt a knot tighten in her stomach. Would this gesture be enough? Zektar's eyes narrowed as he sensed the unresolved hostility in the air. We need to prove our words with actions, he whispered urgently to Anna. We cannot allow fear to win today. The stakes had never felt higher. They were not just fighting for their friendship or a peaceful celebration for Thyn, they were challenging a deep-rooted misunderstanding that threatened to sever the fragile bond they had begun to create. With a deep breath, Anna resolved to stand firm. This was the moment to choose, would they retreat into their comfort zones or stand together, united against the tide of fear? As the onlookers began to murmur, Anna felt her heart pounding, knowing the next few moments would define their futures. As Anna crouched behind the remnants of her shop, the chaos of the central galactic marketplace swirled around her. The metallic scent of smoke hung thick in the air, mingling with the floral fragrances she was fervently trying to preserve. Zektar's fingers deftly wove the flowers together, but Anna knew they needed more than a mere arrangement. They needed a symbol of unity amidst the conflict. Zektar, she shouted over the commotion. What do your people value in flowers? We need to convey the right message. He paused, the weight of her question hanging in the air. Our flowers, they represent hope and courage, but also a connection to our ancestors. The Tari celebrate life through their blooms, and a cohesive arrangement can speak volumes. Anna's mind raced. Let's make something that honors your culture and my intent. We need to show them that we're together in this. Flowers can bridge that gap. Zektar nodded, his determination echoing hers. They gathered the scattered blooms, Anna's heart pounding with the urgency of their task. She grabbed a handful of vibrant orange Tari blossoms, known for their resilience, and paired them with delicate pink earth daisies. These daisies symbolize innocence and purity, she explained, placing them carefully. And these Tari flowers, they're a testament to strength. Together, they can tell our story. As they worked, a loud crash echoed nearby, followed by a series of shouts. Anna glanced over her shoulder, anxiety gnawing at her resolve. We have to hurry, she urged, her fingers trembling slightly as she arranged the flowers. Zektar shot her a reassuring glance. Focus on the beauty, Anna. We are creating hope from chaos. That is our strength. With a final flourish, Anna placed the arrangement in a makeshift vase crafted from a broken piece of ceramic. The vibrant colors stood out defiantly, a beacon of hope in the midst of turmoil. As they stepped back to survey their work, Anna's heart soared. This was more than just flowers, it was a representation of their shared struggle and triumph. Now we need to present it, Zektar said, glancing at the gathering crowd. But we must be careful. Not everyone will be open to this gesture. Anna took a deep breath, her pulse quickening as she stepped forward. We can do this together. Let's show them what our connection means. As they approached the center of the marketplace, Anna felt the intensity of the atmosphere shift. The Tari guards were struggling to maintain order, their faces twisted in frustration as they faced the angry merchants. She spotted a group of disgruntled shopkeepers shouting accusations, their voices a cacophony of resentment. Look, one of them shouted, pointing at Anna and Zektar. They think flowers will solve everything. Anna's heart sank, but she pressed on, raising the vase high. Wait, please, listen, she called, her voice ringing out over the din. We come not to divide, but to unite. These flowers are not just decorations, they symbolize the hope we can all share. For a moment, silence fell over the crowd, their anger momentarily quelled by her unexpected declaration. The guards paused, their attention drawn to the vibrant arrangement. What do you mean? One of the guards demanded, his expression skeptical. Zektar stepped beside Anna, his voice steady. The Tari believe in the strength of our connections. These flowers represent our cultures intertwining, not diminishing. It is a message of peace, of understanding. Anna's heart raced as the crowd began to murmur amongst themselves. She could see skepticism in some eyes, but others appeared curious. We all have our stories, Anna continued, emboldened by their reactions. I am here to learn, to grow, to celebrate our differences. Just as these flowers coexist, so can we. A woman from the crowd stepped forward, her expression skeptical but intrigued. But how can we trust you? You are from a different world. Anna met her gaze, a flicker of hope igniting in her chest. Trust is built through understanding. Let us start with something simple, an acknowledgement that we all have something to offer. Together, we can create a community that thrives on diversity instead of fearing it. Slowly, the tension began to dissipate as the crowd considered her words. Zektar's eyes sparkled with pride as he took a step closer to Anna. We have all felt the weight of loss and misunderstanding, but together, we can cultivate a future where our differences are celebrated. The murmurs grew louder, and Anna's heart raced as she watched some faces soften. Maybe we can find a way to work together, the woman said hesitantly, glancing at the flowers. If we can find common ground, perhaps we can heal what has been broken. Anna nodded fervently, her heart swelling with hope. Yes, let us start by sharing our stories through these flowers. We can have a market where every species contributes its own blooms, its own culture. As if ignited by her passion, others began to step forward, expressing their thoughts and ideas about how they could create a festival of blooms, celebrating the unity of their diverse cultures. Anna felt a rush of joy at the prospect of collaboration. See, Zektar whispered, his voice filled with admiration. You've sparked something beautiful. As discussions began to unfold, Anna glanced around the marketplace, the chaos gradually transforming into a vibrant dialogue of ideas and shared dreams. The arrangement of flowers, once merely a peace offering, now became a powerful symbol of hope and potential. But as the crowd began to disperse, she noticed a group of figures lurking at the edges of the marketplace, their expressions dark and foreboding. They were the attackers, their eyes filled with skepticism and resentment. A chill ran down her spine. Zektar, she whispered urgently, we're not out of the woods yet. He nodded, concern knitting his brow. We need to address them. They must understand that we are not enemies. Anna took a deep breath, ready to face the final challenge. They had ignited a flicker of hope in the hearts of many, but could they turn the tide with those who still viewed them with hostility? Let's go, she said, steeling herself for the next confrontation. Together, they moved toward the group, ready to confront the shadows of doubt that still loomed over their fragile alliance. As Anna stood before the crowd, the makeshift vase in her hands trembling slightly, she felt the weight of the moment pressing down on her. The vibrant colors of the flowers sparkled under the harsh lights of the marketplace, yet the energy around her was charged with tension. The group of disgruntled merchants continued to eye her suspiciously, their expressions a mix of skepticism and confusion. "Trust is earned, not given freely," the skeptical woman from the crowd remarked, her arms crossed tightly over her chest. Anna met her gaze, determination igniting within her. "I understand your hesitance," Anna began, her voice steady but warm. "But these flowers," she gestured to the arrangement, the orange tarry blossoms and delicate pink daisies creating a stunning visual, "they are not just blooms. They tell a story of resilience and hope." The crowd stirred, whispers starting to ripple through, curiosity sparking in some eyes. Zektar stepped closer to Anna, his presence a reassuring anchor. "In our culture, flowers represent life's cycle. These blooms embody our shared struggles and aspirations. They mirror the colors of our worlds, intertwining our futures." His deep voice resonated with sincerity, eliciting a few nods from the crowd. The skeptical woman uncrossed her arms slightly, her eyebrows raised. "And how do you expect us to believe that you truly understand our struggles?" Anna inhaled deeply, sensing the opportunity to connect on a more personal level. "I may not know your history, but I've learned that every flower has its meaning. This one," she pointed to a vibrant orange blossom, "stands for courage. In my world, courage is about standing up for each other, even when it feels impossible." The crowd quieted, the tension slightly easing. Zektar added, "And it takes courage to embrace differences, to celebrate what makes us unique. We can learn from one another. Together, we can cultivate a garden of understanding." From the back of the crowd, a small voice piped up, "What about Thyn?" The crowd parted slightly to reveal Zektar's son, his eyes wide with hope and confusion. "Today is supposed to be special. You said you would make it better." Anna's heart sank momentarily at the thought of disappointing the child. She remembered the excited anticipation in Thyn's voice when he spoke about his birthday. "Thyn," she called gently, kneeling to meet him at eye level, "we are making it better. What if I told you that these flowers are for you? They're a symbol of friendship, bridging our worlds." The boy's eyes sparkled with mischief and curiosity. "Really? For me?" "Yes." Anna smiled, feeling the warmth of the moment. "And if we can show everyone that flowers can bring us together, we can celebrate your birthday as it deserves to be celebrated." Thyn's eyes darted to the flowers, and for a moment, the air felt lighter. "What kind of flowers?" Anna looked at Zektar, who nodded encouragingly. "They're tarry blossoms and earth daisies. Each represents our cultures. Together, they show that we can grow and thrive, side by side." As she turned back to the crowd, Anna felt her pulse quicken. "Today, let's mark a new beginning. A celebration of unity. A birthday not just for Thyn but for all of us." A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd, and she could see the walls of skepticism starting to crumble. "If we can trust one another, we can create something beautiful," Zektar added, his gaze sweeping over the faces before him. "Let us honor this child, and in doing so, honor the connection we all share." "Yeah," shouted a voice from the back. "Let's make it a festival." The crowd erupted into a chorus of agreement, excitement igniting as Anna and Zektar exchanged glances, relief washing over them. The energy shifted from hostility to hope, and Anna felt the spark of a new idea igniting. "Let's gather flowers from every corner of the marketplace," Anna proposed. "We can create a giant arrangement, a living tribute to our shared stories. We'll invite everyone, earthlings, Tari, and all others, to contribute their blooms." Zektar's eyes sparkled with energy. "Yes, a celebration of diversity. Each flower will tell its own story." The crowd buzzed with enthusiasm, and Anna could see individuals moving toward their stalls, collecting blooms to contribute. It was as if the chaos had transformed into a vibrant tapestry of colors, each petal a testament to the newfound unity. As they began to work together, Anna marveled at the sight around her. Aliens of all shapes and sizes gathered to contribute their flowers, leading to laughter and friendly exchanges. She watched as merchants who had once been at odds exchanged smiles and stories, their voices mingling in a harmonious blend. In the midst of it all, Anna felt a profound sense of purpose filling her heart. This was what she had always wanted her floral arrangements to represent, not just beauty but connection, understanding, and the celebration of life in all its forms. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the marketplace in golden hues, Anna and Zektar stood back to survey their creation. The giant arrangement, now bursting with colors and textures, represented a tapestry woven from the stories of many. Zektar turned to Anna, his eyes filled with gratitude. "You have shown us the power of empathy and understanding, Anna. I never imagined that flowers could become a testament to our unity." Anna beamed, realizing how much she had grown through this experience. and you've taught me about the depth of meaning in flowers. I'm grateful for this journey." Just then, Thyn bounded over, his excitement contagious. "Can we have a party now? With cake?" The crowd erupted into laughter, and Anna couldn't help but grin. Of course, a birthday celebration is incomplete without cake. As the festivities began, Anna felt a renewed sense of hope. This was more than a celebration, it was a promise for the future. A future where their cultures could coexist, just like the flowers that now adorned their marketplace, each unique but beautiful when together. With the sound of laughter and the mingling of diverse voices, Anna knew they had taken the first step toward a brighter tomorrow. One where flowers would forever symbolize their unity, resilience, and the connections that truly mattered. As the sun finally set, casting a warm glow over the central galactic marketplace, Anna felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They were not just celebrating a birthday but embracing a bond that had the power to change everything. Together, they would cultivate a garden of understanding, growing stronger with each passing day. As the crowd's murmurs swelled into a chorus of excitement, Anna felt the warmth of hope enveloping her. The vibrant colors of the flowers seemed to pulse with life, reflecting the energy of the moment. She glanced at Zektar, who beamed with pride as the community began to embrace the idea of unity through their shared love for flowers. The air buzzed with the mingled sense of earth and floral sweetness, a promising prelude to what Anna hoped would be a transformative celebration. "Let's gather flowers from every corner of the marketplace," she called again, her voice carrying over the crowd. "Together, we can create a giant arrangement, a living tapestry that tells our story." The excitement in the air was palpable as merchants began to move, their skepticism fading into enthusiasm. Zektar took a step forward, his voice booming with authority. "We will each contribute blooms from our cultures. Let this arrangement symbolize our shared journey, our struggles, and our victories." "Yeah," shouted a voice from the back, a young merchant with a sack of colorful blossoms. "Let's make it a festival." The crowd erupted into cheers, and Anna felt her heart swell with joy. Children danced around her, their laughter ringing like music, while adults hurried to gather flowers, from the tari blossoms to the earth daisies, and even exotic blooms she had never seen before. As they worked together, Anna's thoughts drifted back to the earlier skepticism. She had entered the marketplace as a simple florist, but now she stood at the precipice of something far more significant. Each flower was a representation of cultural identity, a bridge across the vast differences that once divided them. Anna recalled Zektar's earlier words, "It takes courage to embrace differences." She realized that it was not just about the flowers, it was about understanding and celebrating the unique stories each bloom represented. The vibrant display began to form, a magnificent explosion of colors and shapes that dazzled the eye. Merchants who had once viewed her with suspicion now worked alongside her, sharing laughter and stories as they wove their contributions into the arrangement. Old rivalries faded as they bonded over the shared experience of creation. The once disgruntled merchants exchanged smiles and stories, their voices mingling in a harmonious blend. Zektar approached Anna, a glimmer of pride in his eyes. "You've brought us together, Anna. This festival is a testament to your understanding of our struggles." She smiled back, her heart full. "I couldn't have done it without you, Zektar. Your guidance showed me the true meaning behind these flowers." In that moment, Anna understood. She had evolved from a naive florist into a culturally aware business owner, committed to inclusivity. The flowers were no longer just a means of decoration, they were a medium for connection, for dialogue, and for healing. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the marketplace, the giant floral arrangement stood proudly at the center, a symbol of the new tradition they were forging together. The air crackled with anticipation as the crowd gathered around, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of lanterns that had been hung to celebrate the evening. "Let us honor this child, and in doing so, honor the connection we all share," Zektar proclaimed, his voice carrying over the gathering. Thyn stood at the front, his eyes wide with wonder, as he took in the beauty of the flowers surrounding him. "Today is a celebration of unity," Anna added, her voice ringing with conviction. "This is not just for Thyn, but for all of us. Let's create a new tradition, one where we celebrate our differences and find joy in our connections. Together, we can cultivate a garden of understanding." As the crowd erupted in applause, Anna's heart raced with exhilaration. The atmosphere shifted from one of skepticism to one of camaraderie, each person embracing the potential for change. "What about next year?" Thyn asked, his youthful curiosity shining through. "Will we do this again?" "Yes, Thyn," Anna replied, her smile radiant. "This will become an annual festival, a day where we gather to celebrate our friendships and our cultures through flowers." The crowd cheered, and Anna felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had not only changed her own perspective but had also sparked a ripple of transformation within the marketplace. As the night unfolded, Zektar and Anna found themselves at the edge of the gathering, watching the joyous festivities. "What's next for us?" he asked, his expression contemplative. Anna turned to him, her heart swelling with possibilities. "We can collaborate on workshops, teaching others about the meanings behind different flowers. We can encourage exchanges between our cultures, creating a space where everyone feels included." Zektar nodded, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. "Together, we can continue nurturing this bond. The flowers have shown us the way." As they stood side by side, watching the marketplace come alive with laughter and joy, Anna realized that her journey was just beginning. She had chosen the wrong flowers once, but in that mistake, she had found a path to something beautiful. The journey ahead would be filled with challenges, but with Zektar by her side and the support of a united community, Anna felt ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The festival continued late into the night, a vibrant tapestry of cultures woven together by the simple act of sharing flowers. Anna knew that she had found her place in this galaxy, and it was more magnificent than she had ever imagined. Together, they would cultivate a garden of understanding, one bloom at a time.